What is going on, guys? How are we all doing? We're going to be taking a look at something something that I've been looking forward to for a long time, actually. It's been out for a good couple of weeks now. It's been out since about the Expo. And the original version of this was my absolute favourite RTA ever until this was released. It is the Kylin version 2 from the good people over at Vandy Vape. What we're going to do in today's video, we're going to go down to the table. We are then going to unbox it, go through everything with it, how to change the glass, have a little look at the deck, see what they've improved on the deck. And then we're going to throw a little build on it. I'm going to show you how to wick it. And then we're going to come back up top and I'm going to tell you all my thoughts, all my pros, all my cons. And while I've got you all here, don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell notification to keep up to date with all my latest news and reviews. So, Vandy Vape Kylin version 2. See you all on the table. So welcome to the table camera section of the Vandy Vape Kylin 2. Gonna do a little run round of what comes in the box, how it's all presented to you. So, obviously, as you can see, you've got Vandy Vape, you've got Kylin 2 RTA. You've got a big explosion kind of thing happening in the background, and you've got a little bit of a window so you can have a little sneak peek at the tank. Big TPD warning. On the bottom there, you've got a scan and follow, you've got all the scratch and sniff, and you've got all of your serial numbers and stuff like that. On this side here, you just get Vandy Vape. Same again on the other side. On the top of the box, you've got this. If you want to pause and read that, be my guest. And then on the back, same again. So, give this a little open up. So you've got the actual tank itself with a frosted glass on it, which is pretty much no use to you whatsoever. You cannot use this to vape with. You should also get a little box with two separate glasses in it. You've got glass A and glass B. Glass A is a 3.5ml straight glass. Glass B is a 5ml bubble glass. So, we'll have a little closer look at this in just a second. You get another drip tip, which is a little bit different. Instead of sitting on top of there, it actually rests all the way down, but I can't get mine off. Can I do it on this one? Right, this is my own tank, which I've been using. This drip tip just sits down, sits flush, and covers off a little bit of that, so it takes a little bit of the height away. Also in the box, you get a little Vandy Vape box, and I'll go through that, and you get a Kylin RTA user manual and a little windowless box. Kylin user manual is in French, there's also in Danish, and there's also in German. It is also in Spanish, Italian, Russian, Greek, Italian, I've already said Italian, and it's also in, what other languages are in? Everything else, but it's just a really basic kind of what you would expect of an instruction manual. And then inside this box of things that we've got, pop this open. Right, inside this baggie of things, you've got a Vandy Vape Kylin II ripoff, which is still a really good idea. It's good that you include it, but why not just include one of the actual Kylin devices instead of ripping someone off? You get a little baggie with a 510 adapter, couple of spare seals, couple of spare screws, and a Allen key. And you also get a set of coils, a triple fuse Clapton coils coming out at 0.41 each. Nichrome 80, 28 gauge outer core and 3 38 gauge inner cores, 6 wraps, and it's a 3mm coil, and you get 2 of them. So roughly they should come out at around 0.2, which is not a bad little vape. And we'll throw these on in the build section. So let's have a little closer of the actual tank itself. What's a little bit different from it? So the drip tip, we start from the top up, if I can get it out. Drip tip is an 810. The drip tip is an 810 goon style drip tip, and Let me put a little bit of light on here. The drip tip is an 810 style drip tip with a O-ring on the inside and a nice clear passage down into the barrel. The filling side on this, if you have a look here, you've just got a little arrow, and look at that. Look how much easier that is, and when you do that, it closes off onto that side. Let's have a look at the build deck. So the build deck is quite small for a dual poster, for a dual coiler. You can get two into it, but I do prefer to run this as a single coil, to be honest with you. You've got your positive connection on this side here, surrounded by a little bit of peak insulator, which I'm not 100% sure that you guys can see, but I can see it. And then on your negative sides on here. So the way you want it running is, if you're dual coiling, one lead here, one, and then have it down so you so your wicks can go either side, and then the same, you get one coil here and one coil here. If you want a single coil, I would recommend that you do one coil to here and one leg to here, and vice versa, just to keep it nice and center. You've got 8 honeycomb, you've got 8 what look like 1mm board holes on the side, and 3 big fans going up on either side to direct your airflow. You've got quite a solid little juice reservoir, and you've got big, exactly the same kind of base as what you get off the original Kylin with the dual Cyclops airflow. On the base of the tank, you've got Kylin II, you've got your Vandy Vape serial number, your model number, you've got your C and an E, you've got Stephen G's signature on the bottom, and you've got designed and manufactured by Vandy Vape. And you've do apologise guys, my phone just filled up with memory. I do really need to invest in a proper camera. So, and you've got a big pink peak insulated 510 that is fully adjustable, and I would say it is definitely hybrid safe. So the glass that comes with it, I don't know if you can see down there, but there is no room for wicking whatsoever. So this glass is pretty much pointless. So we'll pop this off. But obviously we all know why it has to be there, to comply. But we've got to do what we've got to do, guys, you know what I mean? Pop that off, just give it a little thingy. It might be a little bit tight at first because you've got no e-liquid on it. And on the chamber, you've got a nice small dome chamber, loads of doming on there and the flavour to help with the flavour. And it's nice and short and stubby. It is similar to the 2ml Kylin, the original one, when it didn't have the extender glass on. It's similar in height to that. And I'll include some measurements in the beginning part of the video, you know how this works. So on there you've got Kylin II embossing into it, and you've got Vandy Vape logo on the back, which looks a little bit like Star Wars. Got a nice big O-ring on the top there to keep everything in place. A nice big O-ring on the bottom to keep that in place too. And yeah, how to change your glasses on this. I've got A here because A is the closest one to me. So in the earlier part of the video I said that box A had the straight glass and box B had the bubble glass. It's the other way around. Box A has got the bubble glass and box B has got the straight glass. I'm going to put the straight glass on this. You've got this here. Screw that on. Screw this in. This is what your tank's going to look like with your straight glass on, and this is what it looks like with the bubble glass. Not an awful lot of difference, except obviously this one here is my one. It is a gunmetal. No, it's not. It's a black one, and this one is a gunmetal one. So, I'm going to pop all this back in the box. We're going to... No, I'm not. Yeah, we are. No, we're not. So we're going to pop all this away. I'm going to throw a build on this one. See you all in just a minute, guys. Right, see you right for now. Back up top with the Vandy Vape Kylin. Hope you enjoyed that little bit. So, this tank is something that I've been looking forward to for, since the first one was released, since the first one became pretty much obsolete. It's not obsolete, the flavour's still good on the first one, but it's just not the same as some of the more modern RTAs that are available on the market at the moment. This is something special. I've enjoyed every single pull that I've had with it. To wick it has been an absolute dream. To build it has been an absolute dream. There's been very, very few dry hits off this, and when there has been dry hits, it's all been my own fault. So if you wick this the way I've wicked it on the little bit just a minute ago, nice and short, both sides, cut it into a little V and just drop just the ends of it in, you're going to be laughing. You're going to be absolutely laughing all day long. So, this tank, what do I like about it? It'd be quicker to say what I don't like about it, in all honesty. I like everything about this tank. One thing that is a little bit of a nitpicky con, I do think the build deck is just a tiny little bit too small. Just a touch too small, especially if you want to put dual coils in it. Like I use 3mm coils. The coils that I've used in this and that little build section are the ones that come supplied with the box themselves. But like, you know, if you're using like a bigger fuse Clapton, it's gonna be a bit of a struggle to get dual coils into there, get them up without getting dead spots on the top of your coil where you're not getting no air whatsoever to it. So just like a millimetre bigger, that's all it needs to be, just a millimetre, half a millimetre on each side. Obviously that'll affect the overall shape of the tank a little bit, but it's not much, like a millimetre. It's like that, innit? Like, it's tiny, it's absolutely tiny. And that is the only thing that I don't like about this tank. The flavour, oh my days man, the flavour on this, it's like nothing I've ever tasted before. I get better flavour off this than what I do off my Dead Rabbit RDA. Literally, I get better flavour off this, and it's in all the convenience of a tank. So in the week and a half that I've been using this, I have had no leakage problems. I have had a couple of dry hit problems. That's been where it's been my own fault entirely. That's it. The flavour is absolutely perfect. The drip tip is absolutely perfect. The other drip tip that is included in the box is a little bit, it's too wide bore for me. And I really, one thing that they've improved on massively, in my opinion, in this, I was watching a MF Vape video earlier on today, actually, where he's saying he didn't like this, but he would much prefer a screw-on cap. But then in the same breath he said about the problems with the old Kylin where it jammed in the middle of the chamber. So with this, it eliminates all those problems. You're not going to get any jams, you're not going to have to get a pair of mole grips, you're not going to have to get a pair of pliers to loosen up this tank. So that little top cap is a massive improvement. Yes, obviously time will tell how long this actually lasts for, how long it stays leak proof for, how long it stays airtight for. But yeah, time will tell that. The airflow on this thing is absolutely incredible. Sorry guys, need to fill up my juice a little bit. The airflow is absolutely incredible on this. You can restrict it down. It's got dual Cyclops airflow, and you can restrict it down and get a really nice vape from like quarter onwards. So when your tank is somewhere around that, you still get a nice vape. I'm running this 81 watts on a 0.15, no, oh fucking hell, a 0.12 build. And it's still bags and bags of airflow. But obviously if you open this up wide open, it does become a little bit louder. But if you're running like, I don't know, 121 watts through this, and it wicks an absolute dream. Even at that, I can chain vape this all day long at 121 watts. in my head while I'm doing that. It is a bit warm, like. In my head when I'm doing that, all I'm hearing is Doc Brown off Back to the Future. 1.21 gigawatts! 21 watts. And it's just wicking like an absolute champ. I don't know if it showed that up there. But as you can see, I am having no problem with dry hits whatsoever now that I've wicked it properly. What do we go here? 150 watts. Now it is a really warm vape. It's 1.2 running at 150 watts. But you see me wick fill that up 2 minutes ago, not even that. I've done about 2.5 millilitres of e-liquid at 121 and 150 watts in the space of a minute and a half. Talk about that for chain vape, and I've had no single issues with a dry hit off that. The flavour, oh my god, the flavour of this RTA is, like I said earlier on, this beats my Dead Rabbit, hands down. This, I'm going to say this now, there's not been a lot of RTAs that I reviewed this year. There's not been a lot of everything. It's been like the last 6 months we've just been building the channel up a little bit now. It's coming really healthily, so I haven't really been able to do a best of 2018 video. But if I had done, this is a clear winner. Best overall atomizer. Oh my god, I am absolutely in love with this thing, and you know what? I do think it's going to be an absolute struggle to find anything that beats this RTA, in my opinion. So, any more pros on it? I really like the drip tip. The drip tip is absolutely gorgeous, and I like the way it is still original to the... It's still similar to the original Kylin, with the Kylin logo there and the Vandy Vape logo there. Improvements to it. The airflow is exactly the same. The build deck is a little bit better. It's a little bit more compact. I would prefer it, as I said, to be just a millimetre wider, just to give you that little bit of space and just to get rid of the dead zone in between the two coils. I haven't got it on this, but if I throw a fatter build on it than what I have here, it's quite a small, for a fuse Clapton build, it's quite a small build. To be honest, I'm still hurting from that little chain vaping session a minute ago. But yeah, overall, I can't give it a 10 out of 10 because I don't like the build space. I really like the build deck, but I don't like the build space. So I can't, unfortunately, give it a 10 out of 10 as much as I would love to. It's got to be honest, guys, you know what I mean? I can't let my personal preferences get in the way of how I am marking this. But it is getting a 9 out of 10. The flavour is perfect, the airflow is perfect, the filling method is perfect. There's no dry hits whatsoever, especially compared to the first one. And if you are getting a dry hit, it's your own fault because you've done something wrong. So what have I done? Drip tip's gorgeous, that comes with it. The fill method's gorgeous. The size of it, the flavour, the airflow. I really like the build deck. Not the build space, it's losing a point for the build space, but the actual build deck and how easy it is for single coil or dual coil. So you can use 2 different coiling options on it. What else? I like that it includes 2 different types of drip tips on it. It's got obviously this big like marbled resin kind of whatever drip tip that's really comfortable. And you've got the other one that comes with it. It's like a Zeus style drip tip that just encloses the whole of it. That's a really good. It is a little bit too wide bore for me, but it's not just a fancy drip tip and then just a plain one. It is a totally different drip tip, which, because obviously everyone's got different tastes and stuff like that. And the overall look of it, there's me number 9. The overall look of it is absolutely gorgeous, especially paired on top of this dynamo. Do you know what I mean? Red and black. I am absolutely in love with this RDA, to be honest. I know this has been a massive gush fest, but it's been put through its paces the same as every other RTA that I've ever reviewed, every other atomizer that I've ever reviewed. But, do you know what I mean? Right, I hope you've all enjoyed watching this video, guys. My name is DOVPO, obviously we're the Vapery. If you're new to this channel, don't forget to subscribe and come and join our little family. What else? Thank you very much for tuning in, guys, and I'll catch you all in the next video. And it doesn't matter whether you use a rebuildable tank, whether you use a stock coil tank, whether you prefer sub-ohm or mouth to lung, and it doesn't matter oof, and it doesn't matter whether you like tobacco flavour or strawberry raspberry macaroon flavour. As long as you're not smashing those bifters, you're doing good by my book. Catch you all in the next video. And he's a oh, go on, John, what? Just to prove it, he's a 211 watt vape. Like a fucking champ. Right, catch you all in the next video, guys, and I'll see you all soon. Bye!